Welcome to the Energy and Hours podcast, formerly called the Grow Like a Mother podcast. I'm your host, Jill Wright, author of Happy, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, and creator of the Time Magic Seasonal Planner. On this podcast, we talk about time and energy management tips that we can use to flow through our day in a way that feels more aligned. We focus a lot on how to use cyclical energy, seasonal cycles. We talk about productivity. We talk about self-care. We talk about rest. It all comes together in what I like to say is time magic. And if you tune into these episodes week after week, you're going to get a half an hour punch of tools, tips, and strategy advice for you to go and implement right away in your day to make your life feel a little bit more like you and a little bit less stressful. Hey guys, welcome back to Energy and Hours. Today is a bit of a personal share, but also an excellent lesson in how to manage our energy by asking for what we want. I struggled with this so much my entire life, people pleasing, perfectionism, just wanting to do what was like appropriate, what other people wanted of me, not wanting to seem like I couldn't handle things on my own. It got me into like trouble a bunch of times because I would get overwhelmed, over capacity, and I would need to drop things. I disappointed people, I disappointed myself, and eventually, I think it was when I had kids that I finally was like, oh, I need to start asking for help or else this is not going to work. Like I can't do this all by myself, and I actually shouldn't. So I was reminded of this lesson yesterday night. And I wanted to share the story with you because it A is super cute and B so simple. I've been struggling with sleep the last little while and I wake up with hot flashes. Who could relate? Hot flashes, and then all of a sudden my brain goes and then I'm up for hours. And that's what happened to me yesterday. I woke up and then just had this story in my mind that I wrote the Substack article. You can check it out on Substack. If you prefer to read than listen, it's there. But I'm going to tell the same story here. This story just sort of poured out of me, and then I was able to go back to sleep. So here's how it goes. My daughter is in Sparks, which is the earliest version of the Girl Guides. It's like the entry level to the Girl Guides organization, right? They're 5 and 6 years old. They meet and they do crafts and songs and friendships, campfires, that type of thing. And twice a year, they sell Girl Guide branded cookies to raise money for their unit so that they can do the things that they need to do in terms of lessons and learnings and activities to earn badges. It's kind of how it works. And so it is cookie selling season. In the fall, they do mint chocolate cookies. And in the spring, they do chocolate and vanilla mixed boxes. So like a row of chocolate cookies, a row of vanilla cookies, in case you wondered. Anyways, we went to Sparks last week. They sent us home with 2 cases. I think there's like 24 boxes in total between the 2 cases. We pay up front, and then it's our responsibility to sell them and sort of recoup our money. So after dinner yesterday, we went out. My kids are now obsessed with this idea of toad time that we learned from Laura Vanderkam, time outside after dinner, toad. You'll hear about that on an upcoming podcast because Laura came on. She's going to be a guest on Energy and Hours, and I'm so excited. She has a new book out, big time. Anyways, preview. Tune into that one, May 7th. Her book comes out May 5th. Regardless, I got an advanced copy, got to read it, learned about this idea of toad time. So we do time outside after dinner as a family now, and the kids love it. So what they wanted to do with their time outside after dinner yesterday was sell some Girl Guide cookies, because that is also something we are responsible for doing. It's on the list. We got to do it. My son loves to come too. He is the best sales guy you're ever going to find. So here we go. We've got our wagon. We've got our cookies. We've got our little float because we only accept cash, and we start knocking on neighbors' doors. And so the most interesting thing sort of struck me right off the bat. And it is, I think, a piece of kids being kids and just saying what they think and what they feel. But I think there's also this piece of neurodiversity with my son, specifically being really literal. And sometimes it can get him in trouble. And in instances like this, it is a true superpower. The straightforwardness and the earnestness with which they showed up in these transactions was like appalling in the best way. Hi, I'm a Spark and we're selling Girl Guide cookies. Would you like to buy one? They're $6 a box or 2 for $12. And then, of course, my son, or 3 for 18 or 4 for 24, like what an upseller, right? But they had a job to do. Their job was to sell cookies and they were polite and they were informative and kind and they sold a ton of cookies. The reason that they were able to do that is they just showed up and they asked. And it really got me thinking, what if as adults we showed up like that in our lives and asked for what we need to be successful? Can you even imagine what that would feel like? Can you imagine the energy that we would save from not worrying, from not waiting, from not procrastinating, from not trying to do everything ourselves and not focusing only on the things we're really good at? Can you imagine the energy and time that we would save if we had the gumption to just say, "Hi, I'm your wife. I'm drowning in laundry, which is making me rage, and I'm taking it out on the kids. Will you help me fold?" Guys. Or what if you said, "Hi, I'm your employee. I'm working around the clock, busting my ass, and I'm burning out. Could I have a long weekend to recharge?" Or how about this one? "Hi, I'm Jill. I sell planners based on my time magic framework that help people craft lives they love. Do you want to buy one?" See how easy it is? As kids, we just ask, but then somewhere along the way, we lose this ability, especially as women, because there's comparison, there is cultural stuff going on, right? We feel like we need to be the good girl. We don't want to show up too big. All these stories that are in the ether we're also familiar with right now that we're trying to unpack and heal from. But at what point did you stop asking for what you wanted? Brene Brown, I think, says it the best. She says, "Clear is kind, unclear is unkind." Because people aren't mind readers. And honestly, we're all a little bit self-absorbed. So you need to put on your big girl pants and let your people know what you need because they can't read your mind. And if you don't ask, they're not going to know, right? Ask for it in words, kindly, but assertively. Be polite, but be firm. It's so amazing to me what can happen when we just make this little shift, right? Like, how freeing would it be to drop that armor and drop all those stories around the people pleasing and the perfectionism and the comparison and start to get what you actually really want and need simply by asking for it, by point blank, just putting it out into the universe. And then, even more hard than asking is holding this space for that moment before the person responds to you, right? The response is kind of irrelevant, honestly, because you can't control it. All you can control is asking. And it's going to feel uncomfortable at first because you're out of practice. And yes, okay, you might be denied. The answer might be no. I don't want to buy your Girl Guide cookies. No, I'm not helping you fold the laundry. You can't have a long weekend, or I don't want your planner. That's okay. Even a no is better than not having asked. Wayne Gretzky said, "You miss 100% of the shots that you do not take." And I know from experience that even the worst players on the ice always get a point now and again. You don't get it if you don't ask for it. The point of this whole conversation today, this short, sweet little episode that I am so passionate about, is that you can shift the energy of your day and actually the energy of your entire life by acknowledging what you want and need, which is often just hard enough on its own, figuring out what you need to achieve that reality, and then making the ask. It's 3 steps, guys. Figure out what you want, figure out what you need to achieve it, and ask for the help. Time back in your day, less strain on your relationship, better results at work, more rest, better health, happier you. Even with a no, you get information that you can use to navigate the situation further, right? You can regroup, you can reconsider, you can say thank you and move on. Make the decision to knock on the next door if someone isn't home or has no cash or doesn't like cookies. There are some people, honestly, who say they don't eat cookies. I don't know if they don't like them, but some people don't eat them. And maybe, as is the case in Girl Guide cookie selling, even if they don't want what you're selling or say no to what you're asking, they might still give you some money. They might still give you a piece of it Because they respect you for asking. Oftentimes, what will happen is we'll show up at a door and somebody will say, I'm gluten free, but you guys are so darn cute. Here's $5 anyways. Good luck with your cookie selling. You know what I mean? You never know what is going to inspire someone, what they can give. It might not be exactly what you asked for, but that's the art of negotiation, right? You show up and you see. There's not just one house on the block. And there's not just one way to make a shift in your life that would open it up to a completely new reality in which you are happier and less stressed and more organized and healthier and wealthier or whatever you're looking to achieve, right? I'm going to close this episode with a real life example to show you how this looks in real time and to show you how inoffensive it can be to be on the receiving end of an ask. So don't let the assumption that asking somebody something is going to make them uncomfortable stop you, because it probably won't make them uncomfortable. Ready? Let's try it. Hi, I'm Jill. I'm a time and energy management expert, and I've got a membership that helps people get more organized, sleep better, and learn to prioritize what matters so that they can spend more time on what they love. Do you want to join us? It's $22 a month. Boom. You can say yes. You can say no. The offer is out there, and it wasn't that hard to do. I hope it didn't feel sleazy on your end. I hope you weren't uncomfortable. You can say yes, you can say no, you can ignore me, whatever, out of my control. But I showed up with an ask, and that's what I'm talking about. Figure out what you want, figure out what you need to get there, and make the ask. So I challenge you today, this weekend, whenever you're listening to this episode, make the ask. Choose one thing and start practicing this. And if you can get into the habit of asking for what you want, maybe you need to build it up small. Start with small things, get more important, right? They can be insignificant in the beginning. Like it doesn't matter actually what the answer is that you receive. You're just practicing asking. You're also training people around you to get used to you asking, because right now they're not used to you asking for anything that you need or want. They're used to you doing it all and saying thank you for the burden, right? Often, a lot of times, that's how it feels. We do it all, we don't get any thanks, people just expect it from us, and we become resentful. That's not what I want for you. I want you to take an opportunity to seize something that you want, identify it, figure out what you need and from who, and go ask for it. And please let me know how it goes. I'm so curious. I hope this idea has inspired you like it's inspired me. If these little ones can go out and just say, hi, I'm a Spark, I'm selling cookies, they're $6. Do you want to buy a box? Why can't you ask for what you want? And the answer is you can. You can. I believe in you. I am here to support. Please tell me how it goes. That is it for this week. That short, simple lesson in energy management and how to buy a little bit of time back into your day by asking. Asking for help, asking for what you want and need. Go forth and do it. And until next week, keep on growing like a mother.